Well, Owen, higher education is critical more so now than ever with the global competition that exists, with the fact that our kids, which are our most precious assets and are certainly our future, need to have the best skills possible. And in order to have the best skills, they have to have a higher level of learning so they can hopefully go on to post-secondary education, certainly get a career certificate at a community college, and hopefully move on then and transition through some of the transparency laws that we put in place now to go on and get a baccalaureate degree so that they can be more competitive, so that they can increase their earning capacity and better take care of their families and advance their careers. And it is a shame and it's unacceptable that some of our young people who want the benefits of a higher education are denied it because they can't afford it. So we constantly need to be concerned and about that problem. It's interesting to note that this fall we have the largest number of students attending Kentucky's colleges and private universities, independent schools, if you will, some 270,000, higher than we've ever had. So that's great. But there's a lot that have been disenfranchised because of the cost. And I think part of that, Owen, is simply due to the fact that the state has contracted and has not been able to fund higher education to the extent that it would like to. We've been able to hold primary and secondary, which I've really been involved in on the budget side. We've been able to hold that pretty constant and flatline that budget. But unfortunately, post-secondary has taken some reductions, not significant reductions, but nonetheless taken reductions. And at a minimum, when you don't at least hold them constant, their maintenance cost goes up, their salaries go up, for maintaining their professionals and their professors, their transportation cost goes up, and utility cost goes up. So given the fact that the state has not been able to supply the level of funding that we would like to and has in the past, they've had to subsidize that difference, and that subsidy has come in the form of higher tuition. Now, one thing that I'm really excited about that can help address that breach is what's happening at the high school level at tech schools. There's a new program out that's a partnership with Kentucky's technical high schools and the OC or the KCTCS program. It's called Close the Deal. And Owen, it's amazing that if more kids understood that they can take some of their electives in high school in a tech school environment or at OCTC and get college credit while they're in high school for no cost. And I've seen students in Ohio County, for example, that have earned 15 to 20 hours of college credit, like in nursing or in electrical or in automotive. And they go into college, almost being a sophomore, in some cases being a sophomore, and having not had to pay for any of those credit hours. We need to make that more aware to our young people so that they can gain those skills, gain that knowledge, gain those course hours, and do it at a tremendous price, free, and help stem some of that cost. Now, the other thing that's helped that we passed is that if you go to one of our 16 campuses for our KCTCS system, and you get a 2-year associate degree at that campus, you can then go to one of Kentucky's 8 regional and flagship universities at the same tuition rate that you were paying at the community college. And that's significant because typically the rates at our 8 regional universities and flagship universities are higher than they are at our KCTCS institutions. So that's going to help some of our folks to go on and afford it. But it's something, I guess, in summary, that again we cannot afford, and it's a horrible consequence, and it's unacceptable for anybody in Kentucky that wants to get a higher education and can't because the impediment being cost. We've got to be ever cognizant about that and be ever vigilant about trying to find ways to allow them to go to college.